It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
Ah, yes. Welcome here. I am Dave Gramillion. Welcome to Get Your Geek On, powered by Southtown Games on Pleasanton Road near Loop 410 on the south side of San Antonio, where your gaming family wants to welcome you. Here we will talk Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, video gaming, really all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. You see, geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Geek is in. Geek is very in. Geek is now the mainstream, and we will talk the latest and greatest that is geek right here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This is Season 2, Episode number 21, and tonight, Minion is not with us. Minion has other duties as assigned and will be out of the studio tonight. However, we are going to introduce our guest co-host coming up here in just a little bit. We have plenty of show news to talk about, including some guests that we hope to welcome in here in coming up in the next couple of weeks, as well as a Thor Ragnarok giveaway that is coming up. Actually, it's going to be ending late tomorrow. It'll be probably Monday, 12:01. Whenever I get the box office results, we'll talk about that as well. Plenty of Marvel news to go over because Thor Ragnarok is here in a big time way. It's already started to dominate overseas. It has now come to the United States, and oh my God, gangbusters. Just incredible. When I was looking up all this research about Marvel and DC and Star Wars and box office and whatnot, I came across a truly mind-blowing fact. Something that, to be honest, really surprised me. Maybe it shouldn't have, but it did at the same time. So I'll tell you what that is coming up here before the bottom of the hour news break. DCEU news. Shazam is confirmed. Not only is the movie itself, but now we know who is going to be Shazam. The answer may indeed surprise you. I know it surprised me, but I am willing to give this guy the benefit of the doubt because after all, if Heath Ledger can be the Joker, I'm willing to bet this guy can be Shazam, no problem. Star Wars news. Star Wars has a nasty habit of just dominating anything and everything. In Game 7 of the World Series, they dropped a surprise TV trailer, and it surprised and shocked a lot of people. Nobody saw this thing coming. We'll talk a little bit about that, and also the Han Solo movie and how Ron Howard just hacked it to death. Just reshot an overwhelming majority of the movie, depending on who you talk to, and our discussion point of the night is going to be, is it really possible that Thor Ragnarok could outsell the Justice League movie? I know Goose has a strong opinion on that. I have a strong opinion on that as well. We'll be getting into that. Alrighty. Before we get this thing underway and kick this thing off, I want to make sure I do it the right way. I've got to have everything I need in order to run the premier talk radio show for geeks across the United States, rapidly across the world, and that is first I need something to drink. Because if you're going to talk for 52 minutes and 10 seconds, then by golly, you better have something to drink. I also like to keep a back scratcher handy. That way, if I'm interviewing guests like Jeremy Bullock, Taylor Gray, Marina Sirtis, Pat Proft, and they have no idea that there's that one itch in the middle of your back you can never get, you all know what I'm talking about. I'm not sitting here squirming in the middle of my chair thinking about it. I have a back scratcher to take care of that. And also, I like to have with me Old Blue, my Hasbro lightsaber of many years, because if you're going to run a geeky talk radio show, hello, you better have a lightsaber. And also, we recently added in my sonic screwdriver, so we have that covered as well. Good. All right, we're good to go. I'm also wearing my San Antonio Spurs 8-bit t-shirt, so that works out, and I have my Star Wars hat on, so I am good to go here. Let me introduce our guest co-host for this week, filling in for Minion. She's on my left, your right, as you look across the radio dial. She is the siren of superheroes. She is the cupcake of cosplayers. She is Katie Mills.
Hello? Are there any girls in this room at all?
Yeah, bring on the hot chicks, because I'm a hot stud.
Yeah!
So are we.
I'm a woman, if that's what you mean.
Hello, I'm Katie. I'm Cupcake Cosplay.
All right, Katie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing rather well. You're not nervous at all?
I'm a little nervous, but I think I'm pretty excited to be here.
Just think of it as 3 people in a room. We're just talking geeky stuff, and ignore the fact that there will be thousands of people watching this.
With pitchforks?
With pitchforks
Okay.
and torches. Well, we'll get to the opinions later, but that's okay.
Okay.
And what are you wearing to pay homage to your geekiness?
I have my Wonder Woman San Diego Comic-Con t-shirt.
Outstanding. And if you look further to my left, your right across the radio dial, you will see the man spinning the ones and zeros, our sound prognosticator. He is Goose.
No, there's 2 O's in Goose.
Hey, Goose, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Not too shabby. You ready for tonight?
I am ready for tonight. Oh, that second half of the show is going to be fun.
It's going to be an absolute blast. Let's get some show news out of the way first.
Well, hang on.
Wait. Oh, that's right. Goose, I'm sorry. What are you wearing tonight?
I am wearing, because we're going to talk a lot of Star Wars, I'm wearing my mashup Star Wars Transformer shirt, The Last Prime, which I got from riptapparel.com. That's RIPTapparel.com. And if you go there right now and anything you want, and the checkout, put in promo code GYGONU. Yes, you can save 10%. That's RIPTapparel.com, promo code GYGO.
Outstanding. Let's get to some show news now before we dive into all the good stuff. First, we are having a Thor Ragnarok giveaway. We have 5 different items that we have thrown into a package. One winner will be selected to win all 5 at the same time. And here's what you do to win. The post is on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO radio. Here's how you win. All you have to do is call your shot. What will Thor Ragnarok earn the opening weekend for the United States worldwide? Yeah, it's already earned $100 million overseas before it came to the U.S. I'm not counting that. That's not fair. I'm talking about the opening weekend for the United States. What will it earn worldwide? You call your shot, and the closest person, I'm not going to do Price is Right thing where it's, oh, you went over. No, that doesn't count. Whoever's the closest will win the prize package. And that's all there is to it.
There you go.
Nailed it. All righty. Goose, you're welcome to call your shot. I mean, we're going to call our shots anyway.
Did we already do that last week?
Did we?
I thought we did.
Maybe we did. Well, then we're not eligible, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Doesn't matter anyway.
Although
she is.
Oh, she is. That's right.
She's a guest host, not a co-host.
That's right. She is absolutely eligible to win. So we'll get Katie Mills's opinion on this and let her call her shot
when
coming
we get
up
there
later tonight. All righty.
And don't forget, don't post it here. Go to the post that we have with the rules and regulations and everything else, and call your shot on that post.
Alrighty, so in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be celebrating Wizard World in Austin. The convention itself starts on the 17th of November, but next week we will have the PR director for Wizard World call into the show as our guest, and he's going to help get us a celebrity that will be at the show to call in the following week. That celebrity, we don't know who it is yet. It could be Kevin Conroy. It could be Kate Beckinsale.
Could it be Jason Momoa?
It could be Jason Momoa.
Ooh.
I don't... Whoa. Well, okay,
He's got pecs, apparently.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Katie's interest is like, this show may be worth it after all. Oh, my God.
The Hardy Boys. It could be the Hardy Boys.
It could be. We don't know at this point. As soon as I know, I will update y'all. Make sure that you're following us on getyourgeekon.org and on our Facebook page, Get Your Geek On, which is GYGO Radio. Alrighty. So with that being said, the show news is out of the way. We can go ahead and we can start talking some Marvel news.
This is that sequel to the smash hit with no equal. This one's for the true fans with Hulk hands and action figures flying.
Alrighty, this is brought to you by our friends over at Laser Legend. Laser Legend is on the north side of San Antonio off of Lookout Road on 1604 near I-35. We love this place. We've gone there, I know Goose and I have gone there several times, and we recently got into quite the epic laser tag match.
There will be a rematch, sir.
Oh, good, because I enjoyed beating you so well the first time, I don't mind doing it again.
It's almost like you did that standing still. Oh, wait, you did.
Yeah, that's called strategy and tactics.
Camper.
Strategy and tactics
Camper.
in their 2-floor laser tag arena. They also have a 4,000 square foot video arcade featuring a number of different games, including Star Wars Battle Pod, The Walking Dead, and of course my favorite, Star Trek Pinball. I'm a sucker for pinball. I love good pinball games. Great party rooms and an indoor miniature golf course. the weather's going to change. The weather's going to get pretty freaky around here in South Texas. Get inside, hang out. It's a great place to go. You want to check out our friends over at Laser Legend. All right, so speaking of Thor, since Thor Ragnarok is the topic that we're most likely discussing tonight, we can now officially confirm, according to Yahoo Entertainment, that Lady Sif is not in the movie. Absolutely not in the movie.
Just so we can have some continuity. Lady Sif denied.
Absolutely denied. Now, according to her, in an interview she gave with Yahoo Entertainment, she said that she was asked to be in the movie. But she says, quote, the timing of when they were going to shoot and when Blind Spot was going to shoot, that's the movie she's working on now, it was pretty much at the same time. So, all right, bad scheduling, right? Bad scheduling, maybe on Marvel's part. She says, quote, I was hoping for more of a notice from the studio so I could make it work, but it was a short notice thing. They called and said, hey, by the way, would you come out here? I said, there is no way I can make it work that fast. Now, hold on to yourselves. I know it's a real shocker that Marvel drops the ball when it comes to a female character. All right, huge shocker. I know a lot of people just drove right off the road. They can't believe it. That's the first time that's ever happened.
Right.
But, yeah, sadly, there will be no Lady Sif in the movie because she was pretty much just an oversight, an afterthought. That everyone was like, oh, yeah, maybe we should get Lady Sif in there at some point, since she was kind of a big part in the first two movies.
Whoops.
Now, this is interesting. This is admittedly the first time that we've had a female co-host in here, and I'd like to get your opinion on the whole Marvel DC female superhero perspective, because while Marvel certainly has a lot of female superheroes, none have been in the leading role, and now they've kind of overlooked Lady Sif through all this. Does that bother you in any way?
I think because geek is still more of the up-and-coming cool thing, I think they might had, what's the word I'm looking for? They overlooked it because most geeks, you say, are guys. They
True.
don't think girls can be geeks. I'm having issues.
Well, it is male dominated. I don't think
Yes,
there's any
it
question
is.
about that. You think it's important that there be more representation? I mean, does it, when you hear that this was pretty much an oversight, that nobody just thought to invite Jamie Alexander to this, does it bother you at all, or is it just kind of a meh?
It bothers me a little bit because obviously, even though she was an afterthought, they wanted her there, but they weren't willing to work with it. They just, oh, well, she's not going to be there. Let's just move on.
Yeah, it does kind of send that not really the best message to the female fans out there, that's for sure. Now, early cuts of the movie have not been good. Rumor and word has been coming out that the early cuts were just miserable. According to CBR.com, this came directly from the director. Quote, we failed miserably and had a funny first 10 minutes and then a super boring rest of the movie. So they went through and they made a lot of cuts and a lot of reshoots in order to make it, the colloquialism is to bring the funny. And so far, it looks like they certainly have done that. In fact, Joss Whedon himself has sounded off. And he said, here's the thing, quote, the director has made a modern masterpiece. This is coming from Joss Whedon. Keep this in mind, from Joss himself. Epic, hilarious, gorgeous, heartfelt, and hilarious. I'm so happy. #hilarious. So
well, you said it 3 times. It must be true.
It has to be. I mean, that they say the good things come in threes, and he said it's hilarious 3 times in threes. So I think that Marvel has taken cues from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and Deadpool, and they brought the funny. It's like they hired the Tonight Show writing staff, and they just said, all right, we're going to make a really funny Thor movie. The Hulk will be in it, and the universe as we know it will be in peril, but by God, we're going to have some laughs. And
they've had some really good laughs in the trailer.
They have the whole, he's a friend from work. That was hilarious. That had people rolling.
Well, the palm authentication in the Quinjet.
Yes, that was pretty good. That was all right. And Bruce Banner has had some funny lines here and there, and they've talked about the Revengers. I think Goose is laughing already. Yeah. So it looks like they've really brought the funny, and so far the box office has responded. The box office totals prior to the USA opening weekend, which is going on right now, hit $109.1 million. That is 6% ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy, 24% ahead of Doctor Strange, and it is hold on to yourself now, the highest rated Marvel movie of all time on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Higher than Iron Man, higher than the Avengers, higher than Civil War, higher than Homecoming.
Higher than Suicide Squad?
Higher, what, like 85 times higher than Suicide Squad.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
That's okay. Most people can't either, so that's okay. But keep in mind, let's assume that holds 6%. Guardians finished at $863 million worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it finished at. That would help push Thor to the $900 million mark. The last Thor movie made only $644 million.
The last Thor movie wasn't all that good either.
Yeah, it really wasn't. A little too much Kat Dennings for my taste.
They could have called it Thor Into Darkness.
There we go. They could have called it Meow Meow. You know, that would have worked out also. 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. An epic opening weekend across seas, and now coming to the United States. Looks like it's going to be another huge hit for Marvel. So you know right now Marvel will just be like,
Let the party begin!
it looks like they're just going to have just an absolutely epic time with this. So far there have only been a couple of billion-dollar movies. This one may flirt with the billion-dollar mark. It all depends on how many times people will go back and go see it, but it'll be very interesting to see where this comes out. Right now, Marvel has 3 of the top 5 highest grossing movies this year. The top 5 right now are Beauty and the Beast.
Seen it.
Still number 1. Wonder Woman.
Seen it.
Guardians 2.
Seen it.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Seen it.
And It.
Not seen it.
It made the top 5.
I don't care. I'm still not seeing it.
You're still not seeing it.
I don't do scary movies.
Really?
Except for this show every week.
Hey-oh, there it is. That's what I was waiting for. Thank you very much. Kind of had to lob the softball over there, which, speaking of softball, go Stros.
Woohoo!
How about those Astros? Yeah. Big time shout out to the Astros bringing home the World Series title.
I had fireworks in my neighborhood last night.
Really? Wow. Okay. I didn't think San Antonio, I thought we were like a Rangers town, but yeah. An epic 5-1 win. They lit up Yu Darvish like a Christmas tree, man. Whoa.
Boy, I bet the Rangers are glad they traded him off right about now.
Yeah, no kidding. If Yu Darvish were a superhero movie, he would be in the DC universe.
Oh.
Low rating.
And your 2017 World Series champions, the Houston Astros.
Outstanding. All right, so here's your mind-blowing fact of the day. This one surprised me. Maybe it shouldn't have surprised me, but it did. There is a movie. When I was doing my research about all this box office, records and this and that and the other, there's a movie that has outsold Blade Runner 2049, Kingsman 2, John Wick 2, Power Rangers, The Dark Tower, and Atomic Blonde. Admittedly, for whatever reason, Atomic Blonde didn't do that well at the box office. I thought it looked really good on the trailers. I mean, it's Charlize Theron as like a female James Bond. What's not to love? But okay, it didn't do that well. And that movie is, are you ready? Here we go. Get your guesses in now. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 50 Shades Darker.
What?
And it's not even close. By like 20% over the next closest movie. 50 Shades Darker outsold all of those movies. Wow. There are a lot of lonely women out there. Oh, God. Okay.
I've never seen any of those movies. I haven't even read the book.
Any interest? No interest?
No,
No, at all.
None at all.
I will say, though, probably after that movie, there were a lot of happy men.
No.
Probably. That's probably true. All right. You looking forward to Thor Ragnarok?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you're one of those that's like, yes.
Yes.
Did you watch the first 2 Thor movies?
I've watched the first one, bits and pieces of the second one. I couldn't get into the second one.
Yeah, the second one is pretty much declared as one of the horror Marvel movies. Nobody's going to say it's a bad Marvel movie because there's no such thing.
That's first Thor, you say? Or?
Second Thor.
Oh, second Thor. It was, I will say this, it was the first movie to actually, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did a little minor crossover with. In early season 1.
That's true. That is very true. That movie was just, it was convoluted. It was difficult to get into. It just didn't work out all that well. Alrighty. So with that being said, let's move along in the few minutes that we have here. Let's talk a little bit of DC news here, shall we? Alrighty, this is brought to you by our friends over at Southtown Games. I was there not too long ago, just a couple of days ago. I picked up some booster packs for my Dragon Ball Z playing card game. Oh, yeah. Great artwork on that. But what I was really impressed with were all the accessories that you can find out there. There are card boxes, card packs, card sleeve holders. There are deck boxes, and there's so much out there. It's really incredible, everything that you can find out at Southtown Games. Not only that, but there's so many tournaments going on. It almost doesn't matter what game you play. There's a tournament going on there, and there's somebody there that can sit down there with you who can talk you through a game in case you have questions about a game. Southtown Games, they're tearing it up on the south side. It's incredible. Alrighty, so with that being said, Shazam, coming out 2019. It is going to be, in my opinion, it probably want to be one of the better DC movies because the character has so much potential. Shazam, in case you don't know, he's one of the oldest DC comic book superheroes like ever. I mean, he's right up there as far as age goes with Superman. And his powers are almost up there as well.
He was the original Captain Marvel.
He was indeed.
The only reason they call him Shazam now is because of Marvel.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty true. But Shazam, he's gone toe-to-toe with Superman. His powers are right up there.
Well, his powers are magic-based, which is one of Superman's weaknesses.
Very true. And one of the things I liked about playing the Injustice game series was that Shazam is a really interesting character. There's just a lot to like about this character, and now we know who the actor playing him is. It will be Zachary Levi. Yes, that would be this Zachary Levi.
Morgan and I don't really feel like we're fitting in at my birthday party because we don't know anybody because they're all your friends and they all happen to be doctors.
Yes, that one from Chuck, and that would also be this Zachary Levi.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you, but may I just say, hi.
Yes, that would be Flynn Rider.
How you doing? My name's Flynn Rider.
I love
How's your
that
day
guy.
going?
Yes.
And of course, the host of, I don't know if it's still on the air or not, Geeks Who Drink on the Sci-Fi Channel.
That is correct. And also the same Zach Levi who was the new Fandral in Thor 2. They got someone to replace the guy from Thor 1 because, for whatever reason, contracts or whatever.
Because
or,
why not?
Yeah, just because. And they actually got this guy. If you blink, you miss it because he's not in the movie all that much. But Zachary Levi, who played Chuck, was Fandral in Thor 2. Now, Superman himself, Henry Cavill, has come out and said that the DCEU has not worked out. Surprise, surprise, breaking news, I'm sure. He says, quote, there was a style that DC was going for in an attempt to be different and look at things from a slightly different perspective. He means, of course, that it was darker. It's darker and it's dark and darker.
Yeah,
and
it was
still
the way
dark.
that didn't sell in 2011 called the New 52.
And then darker and then more dark, which hasn't necessarily worked. Quote, it hasn't given everyone the sensation that superheroes would give the viewer. This is coming from an interview he did with The Rake. He also said, quote, I think it's a wonderful time for the female hero. It is the perfect setting in social politics right now. Oh, goody. We need it. We want that perspective, and Wonder Woman has struck at the ideal time and has become a phenomenal success, which is fantastic. So, Katie, I got to ask you, surely your life now is better now that Wonder Woman's come out.
Oh, absolutely. I saw that movie like 5 times that opening week.
I think I saw it twice opening weekend, and then I bought the 4K and watched it some more as well. But now in social politics, now all of a sudden there are females everywhere. You have Rey in Star Wars, and the Forces of Destiny is all female with Star Wars. Rebels has a number of female heroines as well. I feel like things are definitely the scales are starting to tip a little bit more. I'm still waiting for Captain Marvel, and I'm still waiting for my Black Widow movie.
You're getting Captain Marvel in 2019.
Yeah, only 11 years
It's called
after.
Shazam.
It's only 11 years after Iron Man. 11 years.
I think I'm more excited about the female villain in the Thor movie.
Yes. Now you're talking.
Now, I have a question. Has there ever not been a time for a female hero? I don't think so.
I don't think there has been. How many female villains have we had?
In the MCU or DCEU?
Other than we had the Enchantress.
The Enchantress. And
Marvel,
even then,
this
the
will be the
Enchantress
first.
was on the television show. She wasn't in
Marvel
the movie.
and DC. I mean, I'm just going overall. How many female villains we had?
A whole lot of none. Because Ares was a dude.
Yep.
Man of Steel, who was the main villain in Zod.
Zod.
And you had his henchwoman. I forget.
That's true.
Okay,
you had her. You had,
she was minor. She was a minor villain.
You had Luther.
Luther was a dude. You had let's see, Iron Man. You had Jeff Bridges.
Guardians was a dude villain.
Yep. Except for Nebula, but she was minor.
Yeah, that's true.
So we haven't had a main female villain until Thor Ragnarok.
Wow.
In the movies.
Well, it's about time. We need someone kicking some butt up there. It's about time. Alrighty. Man, this is the fastest hour on radio. I swear it is. Coming back after the bottom of the hour news break, we are going to be talking about some Star Wars news about what Ron Howard did to the Han Solo movie. We also are going to be talking some serious word about Thor Ragnarok versus Justice League. Is it possible Thor can take it down? We'll be talking about that and some Overwatch League news coming up after the bottom of the hour news break right here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio. Welcome back from the bottom of the hour news break. I am Dave Gramillion, and this is Get Your Geek On 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio, powered by Southtown Games on Pleasanton Road near Loop 410, where your gaming family wants to welcome you. I am Dave Gramillion, and if you missed the first half of the show, we talked quite a bit about Thor Ragnarok and how it is just tearing up the box office. We also talked about some show news that we had, including our giveaway that is still going on and will be going on until Monday when I get the box office totals. You can find details about that at facebook.com/GYGO official and everything we're giving away there. Superman says the DCEU is not working out. Surprise, surprise there. And Zachary Levi has been confirmed as Shazam in the 2019 movie. Alrighty. You can also hear all of that on our archive. You can find that on iTunes. You search for Get Your Geek On with Dave Gramillion. You search for it on Stitcher. You can search for it on SoundCloud.com. And you can also find it on 930amtheanswer.com as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's kick it up a little bit here, and we're going to talk some Star Wars news here, shall we?
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
Alrighty, so everyone's focus is on The Last Jedi because Disney had a little bit of a surprise for us in Game 7 of the World Series. They dropped the best thing they could have. They had a commercial, a 45-second long trailer for The Last Jedi. Nobody saw it coming. There were not any rumors. There were no hints. Nothing that said they were going to do this. But if you're going to do it, Game 7 of the World Series is the place to do it. I'm sure they had to chalk up a pretty penny for that one, but they got it out there. And I got to say, it actually kind of underwhelmed me a bit. I think right now there's not a lot that Star Wars can show me that will really get me excited. All we saw were little flashes here and there. Luke goes in the Millennium Falcon. Yay, I guess. Little nostalgia moment. We saw a little bit of Snoke's throne room. Yay. I mean, big deal. We saw Rey swinging a lightsaber. Yay, whoop-de-doo. There's just not much that can really get me pumped up right now at this point. There really isn't. So the trailer itself just kind of underwhelmed me. I'm already going to go see the movie. I'm going to go see it a couple of times. I'm sure just about everybody out there is going to want to see this movie as well. What are you looking forward to the most out of this? I'm asking my guest co-host here is Katie Mills. She's filling in for Minion, who is on other duties as assigned.
I'm not sure what to expect from this movie. You know, I've been in the threads and I'm hearing all these opinions that people have of what could happen. And at this point, I think I'm just stunned, I guess, and just going to wait until it comes out because I have zero opinion.
Yeah, there are 4 tons of theories out there about what it could be and... Yeah, who is Snoke, the villain and who is Rey, and who is this, and what's going to happen, and all that. What do you think of Rey so far?
I think she has a lot of potential. Personally, I was a little bored with her. She hasn't really hit that yet. She hasn't wowed me. Hopefully, she'll do a little bit better. Of course, it was just her introduction, so you can't just kind of slam her in there and.
Well, that's true.
Need a whole bunch from her.
Do you have a favorite character so far from what they're calling the sequel trilogy?
Oh,
this is not a good sign.
Not really.
But you enjoyed the
Yes,
Force
I do.
Awakens.
Yes, I do.
So far, everybody seems to love the droid. So,
Oh,
the
yeah.
little BB-8 unit rolling around my house. So,
Mhm.
that's always cool. Now, the other movie that's coming out is the Han Solo movie. The Han Solo movie will be out in 2018. The directors were fired. That was Phil Lord and Chris Miller because they wanted to make into a buddy cop movie. That didn't work out. And now Ron Howard came in and apparently has taken a machete to this movie. First of all, I've been on record as saying that I'm not exactly excited about a young Han Solo movie. I'm not exactly sure why we need that to begin with. It just seems like filler.
It's like going back to X-Men Origins and restarting.
Right. Only now you're going to learn about Cyclops, a young Cyclops.
Yeah.
Or a young Mystique. And I'm like,
no.
whatever. But rumors have said that he has reshot as much as 80% of the film for almost twice the budget. That is incredible. Now, keep in mind that this rumor, I had to dig for a while to find the source of this. I had to go through a few layers to find it out. The rumors came from a podcast that said they have an inside source.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I have an inside source. They don't comment, but I have an inside source. But I'm not going to go about spouting off basically what could be theories and rumors and innuendo. I could say all sorts of things, but it unless it's reliable. I mean, why so many news outlets ran with this without actually checking it to begin with?
That's typical news outlets, though.
Unfortunately, it is, because it's all about speed nowadays. Mm-hmm. The problem is that I can't get anyone at Lucasfilm to confirm nor deny. The source that I have at Lucasfilm didn't comment. So it's entirely possible that they did do this, but you have to keep in mind something. Ron Howard took over on June 22nd. That's barely 4 months in between when it wrapped and when he took over. It wrapped sometime around the 10th of October. Some people say the 12th or the 13th. Some people say the 10th. So somewhere around there. So from June 22nd to the 10th of October, he had to reshoot 80% of the film.
There's no way.
I don't see how he could have done it.
He's Ron Howard.
Well, sure, he's Ron Howard, but he would have already had to have ideas in his head because they called him up and said, hey, dude, we're going to fire these guys. We need you to take over.
Well, you know what Lucasfilm said to that.
What is that?
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
Katie, are you at all excited for a Han Solo movie?
I think the name's funny.
That's true. The name Solo. Sponsored by the Solo Red Cups, I guess.
Sponsored by Match.com.
Yeah, that could be. I don't see the appeal. Now, Star Wars fans, they love to know everything. Mm-hmm. They want to know the backstory for every single speck of sand on Tatooine. But I just don't get this.
Most of it's been hush-hush. You can't find any information about it, so I don't think there's enough hype about it.
They probably want The Last Jedi to have its run before they start hyping the Han Solo movie.
I heard a report on Thursday, I think it was, that they actually have 10 years of Star Wars movies planned out.
10 years?
Uh-huh.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well,
just like Marvel and DC had their big picture, I think they had Lucasfilm has a 10-year big picture for Star Wars.
Well, we talked about this a few shows ago, how I thought that this is not a trilogy. This is actually the episode 2 of a 6-episode arc. Episode 9 will end the Skywalker saga, and then episode 10 through 12 will be the Daisy Ridley story.
You mean the Rey story?
The Daisy Ridley as Rey, Kylo Ren, all that story.
You know who her mother is?
No.
Not Jyn Erso.
Okay, that's enough Jyn Erso talk right there. Thank you. You said the magic word, so that'll do it right there. So a few news outlets have already taken that and run with it. I'm not even sure what to make of it. It just seems implausible that someone could reshoot 80% of a film this size inside of 4 months. I don't see it. Real quick, let me get to some esports news here. Just kind of cram this in a little bit because Blizzard decided to just release a whole lot of news regarding the Overwatch League. They announced a number of teams in the past week or two, including the Houston Outlaws, the New York Excelsior, Okay, I guess.
Must be Stan Lee fans.
Must be. The London Spitfire. Okay. I can kind of see that. The Philadelphia Fusion. That's kind of cool. Philly Fusion, I get that. The Florida Mayhem. Oh, okay. And my personal favorite so far is the Los Angeles Gladiators. This was announced on Thursday evening. Los Angeles Gladiators, whose acronym will be LAG. That's what you want in an esports team. You want to be known as LAG.
Everyone hates lag.
I'm sorry. I guess lag was too slow to keep up in this particular game.
Oh, no.
Lag just wasn't fast enough. They weren't quick on the trick. Oh my God, there's so many jokes that are going to come out of lag. Oh,
so if Dallas and LA end up in the championship, it's going to be fuel versus lag.
You could have the Dallas fail versus the Los Angeles
fuel. It's fuel.
Yeah, but if they lose, they'll be the fail.
Yeah.
Versus the lag. Outstanding. Overwatch League preseason starts in December. Regular season will start in January. Keep an eye on getyourgeekon.org. We'll have all the news regarding that tournament when it comes out. All right. With that being said, let's get to our discussion point of the evening here, which is it is looking entirely possible that Thor Ragnarok could beat Justice League at the box office.
That would be a crying shame.
That would be a huge blow to DC.
I might cry if that happens.
Imagine the Avengers movie, when it came together, was phenomenal. It was a juggernaut. It made, I think, something like $1.4 billion at the box office. Now, here's Justice League, Batman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg,
Green
Flash.
Lantern not confirmed.
Mostly confirmed. They have a poster of him, so, you know. You've got Alfred. You've got Commissioner Gordon. You've got Steppenwolf. You've got chaos reigning all over the place. You bring all these people together, and it may get beaten by the third Thor movie at the box office.
That makes me sad.
So let me ask you first, Goose. Is
Yes.
it possible that this could happen?
You want my real answer or my gut answer?
No, I want your answer. Is it you have to acknowledge there has to at least be a possibility.
There were always possibilities, as Spock said.
That's true. Now, is it likely?
Sadly, because of the vitriol thrown at Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad. The only hit so far has been Wonder Woman with the fans.
That's
and
true.
with the critics. It is quite possible that Thor beats Justice League. Thor in week 3 could beat Justice League opening weekend.
That's entirely possible.
I hope not, but it is entirely possible. Just like Star Trek Beyond, which was the best new Star Trek movie to date, in my opinion, did worse than Into Darkness, but Into Darkness was a much more inferior movie.
That's true. Now, to be fair, DC movies have done really well at the box office.
They have.
The worst one is Man of Steel, which made $291 million just in the U.S.
But you also have inflation to contend with, too.
Well, that's true. But that would put it up to $310 million. It's still the lowest grossing movie that they have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are inferior movies. There's no question that Suicide Squad was just a train wreck of a film, and that Batman versus Superman just did not live up to the hype in any way, shape, or form. But Forbes pointed this out. There's been a 4-month drought of non-kid-friendly live-action movies. In the last 4 months, you've had the following rated R films: Girls Trip, Hitman's Bodyguard, It, Atomic Blonde, Kingsman, Detroit, Mother, American Assassin, The Foreigner, and Blade Runner 2049. Then you had PG-13 movies, which were Dunkirk. You're not taking your kids to that one. Kidnap, The Dark Tower. You might take your kids to The Dark Tower. Home Again, The Mountain Between Us. No kids are going to go to that one. And then you've had cartoons, My Little Pony, the Emoji Movie, and the Lego Ninja Go movie.
So I have a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many times did you see My Little Pony opening weekend?
42.
There we go.
That's the answer to everything. So now you have a kid-friendly live-action movie for the first time in 4 months. And I think the kids are raring to go to see this one because it looks very kid-friendly. It looks very family-friendly.
Is it rated PG or PG-13?
I believe it's PG. Or I think it's 13.
Really? If it's PG,
hold
yes.
on.
It will do quite well.
Now I'm looking. Quick, Google. Hurry up. Save me here.
And
Thor,
Justice League is rated PG-13 too, isn't it?
Ragnarok rating.
Pretty sure Justice League is
It
PG-13.
is a PG-13 for
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok and Justice League.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
thought.
but still kid-friendly. PG-13 is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago, speaking of which. So predictions for the United States have actually risen. A lot of people thought that it would net somewhere between 90 to 95 million. I'm talking about Thor Ragnarok. But then all of a sudden, the overseas numbers started to come in where it was released early, and they raked in $104 million overseas. So now, all of a sudden, the Thor predictions have risen to 100 to 120 million opening weekend. That would put it at 400 million plus worldwide by Sunday evening. The first Thor movie finished at 449 million. They can make 400 opening weekend worldwide.
Not too shabby.
Now, I know we're going to count Cupcake here as part of the Thor crowd. Are you planning on seeing it more than once opening weekend?
Possibly.
What would be the most compelling reason to get you to go back to see it a second time?
If it catches my attention like Wonder Woman did, it's bright, it's not too dark, it has a great storyline, then I'm going back.
Well, it certainly seems bright.
Yes.
That's for sure. The colors are definitely
And
there.
the soundtrack sounds awesome.
And of course, the number of times you see Thor without a shirt on.
He cut his hair too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he no longer has the manly locks
Kinda
going
weird.
on. Yeah, he's all like short hair now. GI Thor or something. I don't know what to call that one. So, but here's the case to be made for Justice League. Justice League is predicted to open around 110 to 120 million and will open 2 weeks after Thor. People who have seen Thor will not go back in week 3 or 4 to see it again. They're going to go see Justice League.
True statement.
Justice League will cut the legs out from Thor starting when it opens up.
Now, I will say, you want people to go see a movie multiple times in the same weekend? Clue that sucker. Multiple endings.
Ooh, now that's a good idea. It could end this way.
Yes.
Or this way, or this way. Now, I want to, for comparison, we're talking about 110, 120 million opening for Justice League. That may not be as good as it sounds.
What?
Suicide Squad opened at 133 million. Man of Steel opened at 128 million. So Justice League predictions are down from Suicide Squad. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah, but with Suicide Squad, you also had this.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
That's true. There was a lot of Margot Robbie appeal to that movie. I think a lot of people went to go see Harley Quinn live. But don't we want to see all these Justice League superheroes come together to fight off Steppenwolf?
Yes.
And the rumors of Zeus also getting involved?
So I will probably see the movie once in San Antonio, once in Austin, because that's the same weekend as Wizard World Austin, which we will be at.
Yes, we will.
Both of those times I will probably see it at Alamo Drafthouse.
Absolutely, because Alamo Drafthouse is our exclusive home for watching movies. There is one place we go to watch it, and that is the Alamo Drafthouse, with movie reviews to follow immediately afterwards. So the Justice League trailer, the opening trailer had 41 million views. The Thor 3 opening trailer, 44 million. This is going to be a lot closer than people think. Right now, Thor is projected to rake in $822 million worldwide. Justice League barely at about $900 million. So here's the big question. Is it possible that Thor, as close as it is right now, that Thor 3 can take down Justice League? I'm going to go on record and say it's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love for it to happen. I really would. The only way that's going to happen is if Justice League is such a bad movie that people go to see it once and then don't go back for repeat viewings.
I typically don't go for repeat viewings because I'm kind of not rich. But for Justice League, I may break my code.
That's entirely possible. If it's a good movie, but it's got to be good.
It's got to be good.
Katie, what would make you want to go see Justice League a second time?
Well, after seeing Batman versus Superman, I did not want to go see Wonder Woman. I was disappointed seeing all the stills of the movie. But once it actually came out, I was thrilled that it followed the comics. So I think other people are in the same boat I am. You know, you had Batman versus Superman. That was not a great movie. And then you had Wonder Woman. That was pretty wonderful. So I think Justice League has the potential to take out Thor, but we'll see how that goes.
So you're going to go watch Justice League. We're all going to go watch it. But what would it take for you to go back a second time? What is the one thing you'd have to see to say, I want to see that movie again?
Well, any movie that makes me want to go see it again, or even just, not even just opening weekend, but weeks down the line, is it has to be good. It has to have a good storyline. The actors have to get along great together. There has to be that chemistry. Everything just has to work blended real well.
For me, I almost expect that nowadays because Avengers pulled it off so well to get all those egos, all those actors working together so well. I almost expect it when it comes to Justice League. The one thing that will make me see it again is a terrific finale. The finale, which is going to be the fight against Steppenwolf, it's got to be so good that I get to see it again. But I'll tell you what, the one thing I don't want out of that, I don't want shaky cam, I don't want zoom cam, I don't want this bad cinematography. You give me what Daredevil, the first fight in Daredevil, that one long shot down the hallway, you give me that, and I may go see it again.
Mr. Vermillion.
Yes?
What if I, Lord of Apocalypse, Darkseid, make an appearance in Justice League?
I wasn't aware that Darkseid was one of our listeners, but hey, I do appreciate that. If Darkseid, sir, if you were to show up and Omega beam someone and then say, I'll see you in the next movie, that would probably help out quite a bit.
So say we all.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Darkseid, for calling in there. I do appreciate you taking the time out there. The camera work in Man of Steel was not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination because it kept zooming in. It's like they gave the 3-year-old the zoom button on the camera and just zooming in all the time. And I don't like the shaky cam. I just don't like it.
Has the statute of limitations ended for Zack Snyder?
Well, here's the thing.
Has his mourning period been ended?
I don't know. That'd be up to him, I imagine.
Well, no, for the show.
Oh, for the show?
Yeah.
Let's give it till after the movie.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, if the movie's bad, Zack Snyder's going to take the blame. And it'll be, Joss Whedon did what he could, but he just couldn't save this train wreck.
Well, yeah, I put a moratorium since what happened with his daughter. So
Yeah, no, and that's fine. But if the movie does really well, then Joss Whedon's going to get all the credit for it. He came in and saved the day. So Zack Snyder really can't win here unless the studio just blankets and says, no, it was all Zack Snyder and that sort of thing. But I'm not convinced at this point, but I have to see a really great finale with really great camera work. If they do zoom cam and shaky cam, I'm done. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. The first fight in Transformers between Bumblebee and whatever Decepticon that was, the very, very, very first fight when you had no idea what was going on, you had no idea who was fighting who, that stuff drives me crazy. Just, no, that's not what I want to see out of this Justice League movie. Okay. One other little bit of news that I want to get on here. In order for Justice League to do well, it needs the word of mouth, which is fine. But I want to look at the broader picture here. This has been a down year for the box office. There's no question. September was just awful. It was just terrible. But there are 3 movies this year that have made $1 billion or more. Beauty and the Beast, Fate and the Furious, Despicable Me 3 made $1 billion?
I took my mom to see that one.
That makes me cry because that movie was not good.
Okay, so that made a bill. So you're like, oh man, only 3? Oh, this is such a down year. But there were only 4 last year. Civil War, Rogue One, Finding Dory, Zootopia. Those are the only 4 movies to make $1 billion last year. And we still have Star Wars, Justice League, and Thor Ragnarok. I think only Star Wars will hit $1 billion. I don't think either Justice League or Thor will hit $1 billion. It's if any of them
Go
can,
see Justice League.
It'll be Justice League. Justice League has the most potential. But Star Wars will make a bill, but that'll be about it. So that's going to be about it. So we're following Cupcake Cosplay on Facebook, and you should be following that as well. She's joining us here in studios, the fantabulous Katie Mills. Katie, do you have any, we're starting to come up here on the end of the hour, the fastest hour on radio, I swear. You have any thoughts about Marvel versus DC and how that's gone so far?
I've always thought that Marvel, of course, does movies better. Marvel has always taken the movies, no problem. DC has always had to fight for it, and I think they have been able to stick with comics and TV shows a lot better than Marvel. So to see them be able to kick butt in the box office would be amazing.
What is your favorite Marvel movie?
I've always loved Iron Man.
Really?
Love Iron Man.
Because of Robert Downey?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I thought so. What is it about Robert Downey? Is it just that he acted so well, or is it because he's kind of hot?
Actually, I liked his character. I think he did amazing.
He nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about, let's see, what was I thinking about? Oh, God. Have you seen Ant-Man?
I have not.
Okay. You need to see Ant-Man. I've got a copy. I'll let you borrow it.
Okay.
But that was actually one of my more favorite. It's up there. I don't think I have a favorite Marvel movie, but it's up there. It was so underrated, so underwhelming, but it worked out well.
What do you think of Michelle Pfeiffer playing Janet Van Dyne?
I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
I think it's a terrific idea. Michelle Pfeiffer needs to be in more comic book movies.
So this was the first time we've had a guest host.
It is.
So what do you think?
I think this is great.
If called upon again, would you come back?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Outstanding. All right. Hey, look, we didn't chase her off. All right. Good news.
There's still time.
You just got to get your viewers to say something, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, we do a Facebook live stream as well when we record this. You can find that on facebook.com/GYGO radio. And in between, when we're on the break, we actually do answer questions if people put forward to us, and we do respond to them when we can. Alrighty, so I think that's going to go ahead and just about wrap it up here. I do want to thank Cupcake Cosplay for coming in here. Please do follow her on Facebook. Show her that you love her. Give her a little bit of love there. Just click that like button for her. So if you do want to tweet at us, you can find us at GYGO_official. You can shoot me an email at davethehost@getyourgeekon.org. For Goose, for Katie, and for myself, if you're watching us on Facebook, if you liked having Katie in-house, mash that heart button. Mash that heart button for Katie. I want to thank all of our sponsors, which is Southtown Games, Laser Legend, and the Mailing Spot, and Pro Defense Pest Control. Thanks for listening. Be excellent to each other, and be sure to get your geek on every single day. Good night, everybody.